So this is another exam question about logic gates. So this time their scenario is a farmer. So the farmer has got his automated system to indicate if the soil conditions are right for planting. So they're right for planting if the soil is warm, wet, and the correct acidity. And there's a logic circuit here, which is what we have to refer to, and then we've got a set of rules at the bottom. So inputs to the system, the soil temperature T at the top. So if that's the temperature T, then it's 0 if the soil is cold and 1 if the soil is warm, and we hopefully can recognize that this gate's an AND gate. So it's AND with moisture, which is M. So it's 0 if the soil is dry, it's 1 if the soil is wet. So warm and wet is going to give us a positive output for X. And then acidity here, which is A, we've got, hopefully we'll recognize this as a NOT gate. And it's 0 if the soil acidity is correct, and 1 if it needs adjusting. So if A starts as a 1, then it'll end up as a 0 here. So 0 if the soil is correct, and the output P is 0 if the conditions for planting have not been met, or 1 if they are, and it will be. The idea here, we've got another AND gate. So all we have to do in this one, is fill in the truth table. So X here is T and M. So sometimes on these, it's worth you taking your time and writing what you're thinking. So it's T and M. In this case is X. So here's T and M. So 0 and 0 is going to give us no output there. 0 and 0 again is going to give us no output. 0 and 1, it's an AND gate, so they both need to be 1. So again, we've got nothing. 0 and 1, nothing. 1 and 0, nothing. 1 and 0, nothing. And then finally we get 1 and 1 and 1 and 1. So they give us 1s as outputs. We did the first one. So Y is just the result of the NOT gate on A. So Y is the same as not A. So A is 0 here, so we just reverse it. So A is 1, reverse it like this. A is 0, reverse it. A is 1, A is 0, A is 1. So we've got this pattern going up and down, 1, 0, 1, 0. And then finally P, which is X and Y. So G3 is an AND gate, so we're going to be doing the AND of X and Y. So in 0, 1, that's going to be a 0 because they need to be both the same, and they need to be both 1. So all of these so far, we've got 0, apart from that one, which is a 1, and that's the only one that is. So we get our 3 marks for a correct column, 3 correct columns. It's sometimes just as well to write this at the top if you think it helps you out. You can write anything you like on the paper, really, as long as your answer's clear. It's no problem. So then we've got state the type of logic gate shown in figure 2. It's the only one we haven't got in these, isn't it? So it's an OR gate. So this is OR with its curve back, or giving us a 1 output if either or both are correct. So then there's another bit of question at the bottom here. So the farmer wants to modify the system. This is the one that sorts people out, really, if they can think about this. We just have to take a time and think about what it's saying. So the farmer wants to modify the system so that it will indicate that the soil conditions are right for planting if at least one of the three conditions has been met. So only one of them now. So at the moment, we've got all three. So it's and to be done. So the easiest thing to do to change the gates that we want to change is we want to change. So we'll change G1 from and to or, and we'll change G3 from and to or. So changing the AND gates to OR gates is going to mean that if any of the inputs that we get to those OR gates are true, then it will give us a true output. So those there, we get a couple of marks for that, one for saying each one. So when you're doing this, try not to just write down change the gates to OR, because you don't want to change all the gates to OR, and you've got to be really precise. So use the G1 and the G3 to identify the gates. It's a much better way of doing it. It's very tempting just to say change the gates to OR, but you need to be a bit more precise than that in the exam.